One. Hi guys, this is Dardamus with Dardamus Dominions, and I'm in with the co-host from the last game. Say hi, General Confusion.
Howdy, howdy.
Grippa,
Also,
thanks for joining. What's that?
Yellow.
Your stream is paused again.
Yeah,
I was going to say that.
Thank you. What I do is I think I just minimize things the moment that I start an episode, so I can screw up royally. Hi, RCK, how are you doing, dude?
Good.
And I kept the best looking for last. Hi, Mandar.
Hello. Thank you for having me.
Okay, so we are entering the home stretch, and we are going into some of the final turns here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to move to the main map in order to see around the thrones and see what's happening. Now, here, there has been a move by Scalaria into Cetis, and this is the start of the Cetisian-Scalarian War. RCK, without giving too much away, what is your aim in this army?
Really just to try to go for the throne.
So this guy's going here, and last turn there was an army here. Grippa, where is it?
It went south because I'm bad at scripting. I accidentally moved them south.
Well, this is really cool because you have army here, and mages here.
Yes, so the army on the farmland province with the castle is going for that throne to capture it. The other army to the left of it was supposed to be on the throne, but a certain shitty Dominions player accidentally told them to go south because I mixed up my own armies.
Why do you have Mandar playing your turns, dude? Sorry, I had to.
Okay, GC, do you know the movement? Do you know how many movement points it'll take him to get from here to a desert province?
Okay, so all the provinces have snow in them. What's that province in the middle? Wasteland? No, that's a farmland.
With a road.
The answer is too many, I think.
Okay, I think you're right. Remember, dude, it's going to show me 30, but it's showing me this when this is actually, I think this is 8 provinces because of this, or this is 8 movement points because of the snow if it's friendly to friendly.
Yeah, and the road, okay, so snow is +2, plains are 6, roads are -4, I think? So it's going to be like, I think it's going to be 4 into that province and then going into the wasteland. Wastelands are a bunch. So it's going to be the average. It's going to be the average of the plains province plus the wasteland province divided by 2. It's going to be the average of the 2 costs.
Probably. I mean, I guess that we could go
I'm
from here.
I'm pretty sure it's too much, is what I'm saying.
I don't think you're right. So he's not going to get to there. Okay, so he can get here, but these 2 armies probably cannot go here. Cetis, what's your plan? Are you planning on defending this throne?
So as you can see, my mages are all the way down next to that throne, which I actually pinged this turn, I do believe, because I was let's see what I'm trying to deal with here. Suicide that disease commander into it, and I was like, well, shit, that's a lot more than I wanted to deal with.
Hey, you didn't suicide him, dude. He's still alive.
Oh, you're right. He got snatched. I forgot about that. No, he's diseased, so have fun with that one. As is all my guys get diseased. So, actually, no, he's not. Son of a bitch.
You wasted a good commander, dude.
Nah, he's probably going to be diseased anyway. He's probably going to still get disease in there in my Dominion. Wait, why can't my Dominion take thrones for me? Why can't they all get disease and die, and then I can just take thrones because they have no commanders? Damn it.
Actually, they will over time.
What? Oh, so what you're saying is I could have sat there and done nothing. Damn it.
Yeah, like this is a good example right here. The Ermorian has killed this province almost completely. It could probably be taken by, a handful of skeletons.
I'm only going to play Cetis now forever. In any case, so I moved everyone down there to fight them. My mages had further map movement than my army, which is why they're ahead of the pack. So now I'm like, well, shit. This guy, Celeria, could not have picked the worst time. I, personally, convinced myself he was going to go for Ermor, because in my mind, Celeria wants to eat Ermor for the death gems, and also they had a better border than we really did until he took Ulm. So I'm thinking there's a better chance he's going to go for Ermor. That started happening, and I was like, well, shit. So now I have to get back to that throne and protect it.
Okay, so there was a message between Scalaria and Airmore at this point about the Throne of Death, and what was the communication between the two of you guys? RCK.
I don't even remember. We weren't talking about this one actually.
Oh, which
We
one
were
were you talking
talking
about?
the one that's on our border right there. Yeah, that level 3 throne right there.
Okay. And what was the conversation between the two of you?
At this point in the game, everyone was about to go to war with me, and Ermor, he said he really didn't want to fight me, and he said the only way I would get out of that would be if I let him have the throne. And I told him it's free game. If he wants it, he can have it.
Okay, so right now, Aramore has been told if you want the throne, go ahead and grab it. But you pinged it, and you look like you're getting poised to go in as well. You're poised to go into here, and that's enough to win.
I told him it was free game if he wanted it.
Okay. Let's see. So you said that there was finally a coalition against you, correct?
Yes, I feel like everyone's talking in chat at this point. I think Grippa said something.
Yeah, I was like, hey, he's getting mighty big, boys and girls. You want to do something about this?
Oh. Okay. So there is one really cool battle during this, and I want to highlight it here before we look at the actual battle itself. And GC, what do you think happened?
Earthquake.
I love talking with players that know their stuff because immediately.
Okay.
What's amazing is that like people see this and they're like, oh, I know what it is immediately. So let's go over this.
The bane of skeletons.
Why does he have this equipment?
So the Earth Boots give him a boost in Earth magic. That is a ring of levitation, isn't it?
Levitation.
Yep.
Yeah. So he's floating. He has.
Let me look up Earthquake real quick. Earthquake is a Earth 4.
Evocation 5. It requires Earth 4. So he's got Earth Boots on his Smiths, which makes them Earth 3. He can cast Summon Earth Power. That makes them Earth 4. That means they can cast Earthquake, and because they're floating, Earthquake won't hit them, because Earthquake doesn't hit floating or flying troops at all. So they cast Earthquake, and...
Oh my goodness.
Boom.
Now, of note, and this is something I didn't know, is that it looked like they took, what is it? They took Blood Vengeance damage from the Earthquake. What are some spells that don't hit Blood Vengeance?
The
Bow
only...
Vapors.
Yeah, so in order to not trigger Blood Vengeance, you have to not do direct damage, which means you have to either use spells that don't do damage that's linked to you, so like damage over time effects, like poison, or you have to use spells that instantly kill a unit instead of causing damage, like Soul Slay.
Soul Slay
Meteors from Gifts from Heaven will trigger Blood Vengeance. I think that cloud spells, like Fire Cloud, might also not trigger Blood Vengeance, but I'm not sure.
Clouds don't trigger it. Poison doesn't trigger it.
Does Rain of Stones
obviously doesn't trigger it. Rain of Stones does not trigger it, neither does... Actually, I don't know if Rain of Storms triggers it.
I think it has to do with this battle enchantment. Because if it's a battle enchantment, I don't think that I don't think it triggers it.
No, because Firestorm triggers it.
Firestorm does?
I think so.
I'm curious. That'd be interesting to test. I'll have to test that later because I don't know one way or another. Because Blood Vengeance is a very, I don't want to say it's rare, but in the games that I've played, it's very rare. Have you seen it very often?
Rain of Stones or no, Blood Vengeance.
Blood Vengeance.
It's not super popular, but it's a thing.
There are two nations that have there's a good chance they'll take Blood Vengeance. One is Ermor and the other is Marverni.
Oh, I didn't even think about Marverni.
Marverni will sometimes take Blood Vengeance because they can summon all those sacred pigs for free with the Boars of Carnotes, and so they can just bless them with a Holy 3 or a small Holy Communion. And then you kind of have a choice, like either you get trampled or you cast spells at them, which they're very vulnerable to, and your mages die.
It's also a fantastic Stargazer Bless because it keeps them from battlefield wiping out your Stargazers.
Yep.
Oh god, I didn't even think about that. So they try to screw with your communion, and then they get wiped out themselves.
Yep.
You got it.
That is amazing.
Marverni's a nice nation.
Just a curiosity, and I don't know if you guys know this or not. If you have pen items on a unit that has Blood Vengeance, does that pen count towards Blood Vengeance?
Not a clue.
I don't know.
That's really interesting. I love how there's so.
I would think not, but I don't know.
Like there's so much about this game that we have absolutely no clue about. In that it's not like I don't think that it's something that you need to know, but it's still a kind of an interesting thing that is out there. Okay, so let's and then inside of Vanheim themselves, this is the final stand of Vanheim. Do you think that it was enough? I mean, I guess if you looked at the map, it was a giveaway. But do you think that was enough from the earthquakes to stop this group from killing him?
It was a gem bait, wasn't it? So Ermor's not going to be firing off any big important spells, probably.
He doesn't have any mages ever.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah. So the thing here is the earthquake. Earthquake is really, really good at clearing away Ermor's huge hordes of chaff, but Earthquake almost never does serious damage to Ermor's sacreds, because their two sacreds are lictors, who are tough enough that Earthquake doesn't really bother them much,
Ooh, yeah.
and Knights of the Unholy Sepulchre, who have a really high defense score, and defense negates Earthquake damage. You get a defense roll against Earthquake damage.
That's a really good point too. I've done doing Earthquake against elves doesn't work very well.
Correct. Also, a lot of elves can fly.
That's true too. Okay, I'm not seeing any. Are there air elementals going down? I'm not seeing any air elementals. Oh, there they are. Where do they land? Oh, they're just getting annihilated by the lictors. Does Trample trigger Blood Vengeance?
Probably. I think.
Yeah,
I
think it does.
Okay, then that would just wreck the air elementals. And this looks like it's the end here. The Blood Vengeance was too much. Oh, Howl would have been very nice earlier.
He did do a lot of damage. Like, he killed a bunch of the lictors. I think it looks like.
Yeah, it looks like it. Let's go check and see what the battle report is.
Yeah, he killed 76 lictors. That's impressive.
Yeah.
Of note, I don't see any lictors here. There are no lictors here. His lictors are all the way back at his cap. He is not siphoning them down. And so any play that's down here, he's going to be kind of powerless. He's going to have to watch it. So let's move into the next turn. So this is the end of Van. I don't know if did they completely die? No, they've got a couple more problems. Okay. So Van is still alive, but they're for all purposes done, and this is going to be the last turn for this episode.
Okay, so hold 1 second before you jump into the turn here. One thing I want to say. Yeah. As statist, when I'm looking at that Statistian situation where there's province, I don't know what, and I know he's in the chat here. I don't know what he did, but in that position, what I would have done is pulled all of my troops and mages into the provinces surrounding and then attacked next turn. And I don't know if that would be in time to save the game, but trying to send one of those groups in front of that huge horde of like 2,400 skeletons is just doomed.
I like this. Do you think which one do you think he's going to do? Do you think he's going to play?
I don't know.
I want your prediction. Mandar, do you know if he suicided or did he wait?
I don't know anything, man.
I'm kind of curious because a PD dump where he puts an entire turn's worth of income into just PD and just trying to whittle it down, and maybe if you can get like one or two mages in there, I mean a single Foul Vapors caster, may be worth it.
Well, it will depend on Solaria's Bless, obviously, because if they have poison resistance, then it just won't accomplish anything. Skeletons.
They do not, and that's one of the we talked about that a couple episodes ago on how that would be a change in the build next time.
Okay, so yeah, in that case, just a bunch of chaff and one foul vapors guy could potentially decapitate that arm.
Just a curiosity, RCK, did you have your mass flight caster in with this army?
I did. I had one of them there. Yes. I
well.
did. Whenever coming into this fight, I did set Serpent's Blessing to be one of the first spells I casted after my communion, but I didn't know how much that was going to help with foul vapors.
Serpent's Blessing effectively negates foul vapors now because they buffed it a few months ago to be poison resistance 10.
And not only that, but it's quick enough out of the gate that it normally can. I think if foul vapors is turn 1, you need to have the poison resist by turn 2. Otherwise, you'll lose at least some of your stuff.
And I believe also I also sent mages and my water mages to cast things like rain and stuff like that if he had any kind of fire play, but we'll see.
I believe that this is the battle right here that he goes in. So we have
a proper Solarian army.
Grippa, Gratz, you went with GC's idea of not jumping in yet. Why did you pick that?
Because I had no idea what Solari was doing with his armies. And I wanted to see the army first before I actually attacked it. I could have moved my troops into the province, but I would not have had mages, and I did not want to fight him without mages. Yeah, I thought I was fairly confident that my Falchineers and stuff would be able to blunder them, but I got thinking long term, and I didn't want to lose a ton of them because I had played a Solari game a couple months ago, and you can get a lot more skeletons than you can get a Falchineers or Satis. So,
okay, one question I want to hand this over to Mandar. When you're fighting somebody and you see a gigantic army and you don't know what it is, when should you attack that army blind, and when should you wait a turn and be able to see what they've got?
When it is a time-sensitive thing, if they are going for a throne rush, or if they are moving to sit on top of, to take your fort with the big blood discount site where you've been summoning all of your vampires. Those are times where you want to attack blind because you need them dead, and if you fail, you're dead anyway.
GC, how much do you hide your magic if you know that there's, let's say you're going to attack a province, you know it's just going to be PD. How much do you do to hide what magic that you're going to use?
As much as is practical, if that makes sense. So, for example, if I'm thinking ahead, which to be honest, I rarely manage to do effectively, but if I am, I might try to hide gems on a scout. I will probably have my mages have a different non-gem using script if I expect that my enemy won't move in to stop me or will try to gem bait me. Now that said, I don't do that all the time because it's risky, because what if they do show up with their army loaded for bear and you're standing there with your thumb up your ass with all your mages scripted to not use gems? Then you're in trouble. And that's the kind of thing that can turn a war around. So if there's any real risk, if I'm looking at a situation where there are significant enemy forces close enough to potentially reinforce, and I think they might do it, I'll just go in as if I expect a full-on army battle. Because you have to cover that chance.
Grippa, how much do you think that you learned from watching this battle?
Quite a bit. I was able to see all the mages he had. I saw the one guy with the air gems, and I was like, fuck, he's going to do what I think he's going to do. Well, actually, I was between. I wasn't sure if it was going to be Mass Flight or if it was going to be Fog Warriors.
Okay, dude, what's that, sorry?
I had both of them.
You said you were going to cast both of them? Because that's what I saw that fucker, and I was like, okay, no thank you.
Well, yeah, at this point, I just threw everything on him. I filled him up with gems. I'm like, and I think I set him off so he wouldn't use conservative gem usage. So I was like, this is it. If I lose here, everyone's at war with me anyway.
Yeah, so I actually had my own mass flight, planned, so that was going to be entertaining to see all the skeletons and falchineers hopping around. If
Dun, 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 dun,
Yeah.
dun, dun, dun.
Oh my goodness. So hopefully we'll see that. Oh, look at this! Look at that! This is
Oh,
bad
oh
manners.
no!
Bad
Oh,
manners,
not
dude.
again! No,
He
it
had
doesn't.
one province, and
It-
you had to go
It
in.
doesn't go well.
You
What-
deserve this, okay?
It's just
Are those
PD done.
marrows?
Yeah,
Oh,
like
we get to have the marrow. Okay,
Yeah.
GC, who is better, the Ichthyid warrior or the
Oh, boy.
marrow?
They're both so shit. They're both so bad. If these were the regular Ichthyids with nets, I would. Ichthyid warriors are bad.
Okay, so you think if they have the nets that they're better?
Yes.
Because we
Unquestionably.
had this conversation in earlier. We had a long 10-minute conversation about because they did have nets last time.
Okay, so if you look at the Ichthyid warrior stats, just everything here is garbage. Is the thing. Their attack skill, their defense skill, they have protection, but it's not great protection. Like everything about them is bad. They're like indie heavy infantry, but sadder. So
Well, they have 5 natural protection.
yeah, so the Ichthyids with the nets, they still have a little bit of protection, and they have an attack that actually stops someone from stabbing them in the face. And then they have the same weapon. So they do better because when the regular Ichthyids come up in a line like this against somebody, like 1 out of 5 guys in this line would be netted and not attacking. It's
Now-
the same reason that middle-aged Machaka Spider Knights.
But at the end of the day, the marrows won. How did they win?
They're better at stuff. They have better stats.
Okay, like in what way?
They're at well, I mean, just look at this guy. Like, remember that Ichthyid we were just looking at who had like 7 attack skill and 7 defense?
Yeah.
This guy has
I-
9 attack skill and 12 defense.
Okay. So the defense and the attack skill play it off, and not only that, but he has this commander here who is he's got an 8. This is his profit.
yep.
He's
Yep.
got 30 hit points.
Fantastic. That guy could probably have won. That guy could almost have won this alone.
Oh
Wait,
man.
wait. Well, this is an important question. What's his bless?
Oh, we need to know that.
Probably not much.
Yep. So I strolled into that gigantic PD dump that he had dropped like literally 20 turns ago.
This won it for him right here, dude. This won it.
Yeah, that did nothing.
It's the thug shark.
You
I
need those
wish-
MR or the resist just in case he brings big magic.
Exact. In case he brought like 4 Ichthyid shamans with him.
Sorry, I'm looking at these the wrong way. Okay, so we have a ping. Wait, didn't you just ping this?
Yes.
He did.
I wanted to give them a second shaman to go with my commander for being lonely. Was that guy like sick or something like that? What? I think that guy was like half dead or something like that. Was he? Oh, you know why? I think I remember this guy. Hold on, is he feeble-minded?
Yes, he is.
Oh, he's
Yeah.
minded.
Guess who scryed on the province with him and then got their cord cut and was feeble-minded because of it? That guy. So to complete the circuit, I fed him into them, and they actually took him. So be free, my friend.
I love that they named it Ishtar and it's an Anukai because like Ishtar is a historical god as well.
Yeah, she
And-
screwed over. She's the reason why Enkidu died. That bitch.
And so like you got like god name of a different type of god. It's not like Ishtar the Ishtar. So
Mhm.
kind of interesting. But yeah, enslaved mind. Yeah, tough break, dude.
That's what happens when I try to do things.
It's a shame you didn't roll up a couple of shamans to magic duel Ishtar. Because she's
That-
at Astral 5, it might have been cost effective to just magic duel her to death.
That was one of the plans with that body of mages.
Oh, this one.
Nice.
I wasn't sure if I was going to commit to it, but I had that idea.
Can I also just say I really appreciate the way that Solaria is playing like a really proper Solaria game where everywhere they go they have 10,000 skeletons.
Thanks.
I'm not gonna lie, the Scalaria play was super impressive, and I think that we brought it up multiple times, but like this was a very textbook Scalaria game in my opinion. They stayed small, they got a lot of skeletons, and then they just exploded out.
Mm-hmm.
So this right here is the 3-point throne, and you need the 3-point throne in order to be able to win with only 4 thrones. You need 5 if you don't have the 3-pointer. And this is a lot of fire, and I want to talk to you about this RCK because you have big magic here, correct?
Yes.
Okay, would you have gone in here without big magic?
No, not with just skeletons. I would never have done that.
Now, I was never like a percentage person, but a lot of the players in Dominions, or at least some of them, give a percentage chance of you winning the battle. What would you have put your percentage chance of winning this fight?
Oh, at this point, I knew I was going to win this fight. With all
So
the
you knew
mages I brought. Yeah. There was no way I was going to lose this.
Okay, now, if you're bringing a lot, what is the magic that you're going to be pumping out here?
As you can tell, all the communions are going off right now. Right, I believe at this point we're throwing down like rain, we're throwing down mass flight, we're throwing down darkness, rigor mortis, relief. I feel like there's a couple more things I threw in there at this point. Anti-magic,
Okay, keep going.
just tons of things I was able to cast at this point in the game.
Yeah, this is actually... Dominions has this kind of weird power curve where in the early game, troops are preeminent, like large quantities of troops. And then in the mid-game, large masses of troops are basically unimportant. And then in the late game, large masses of troops become really important again, because now you have all these huge battlefield-wide buffs that can make them way, way stronger than they used to be. And Solaria is kind of the epitome of this strategy, because you have, like, I think this is literally over 1,000 or 2,000 skeletons.
I think it's like 3,000 or 4,000.
And you can apply these battlefield-wide effects to all of them.
What's interesting, they're kind of like, your mages are kind of like aircraft carriers, they're not aircraft carriers, airplanes. Like, when airplanes first came out, they were only reconnaissance. They weren't really used in battle. But then as they got more advanced, they were able to fight wars, and they were the big piece. But you still need an army to defend that. Like, an aircraft alone can't win a war. You need the ground pounders, even if they're, they can sometimes just be targeted. Really well done on this one. What do you, when you go into, GC, when you go into for your fighting your last throne, and it's gonna give away that you're gonna do a throne rush, do you ever take any fights that are less than 100%?
If I have to. I mean, so, if you're in a situation where the rush is going to win or lose the game, the question becomes, can you afford to not take a fight? Like, even if it's a 75%, you might have to do that. I mean, especially because, he was saying, in this position, like, everyone is about to go to war with him. So at that point, it's like, you take the fights, because if you win, the game's over, and if you lose, well, you were about to get ramrodded by everybody anyway, right?
There were a lot of mage losses here. How did the mages get lost? Oh,
I don't remember, to be honest.
Okay, I'm gonna push forward because I'm kind of curious about how, if it was communions is my guess.
Yeah,
so
that's what I'm thinking.
Where are your mages? Okay, so you have a shaman here.
Yeah, he's got 2 thaumaturgs down there that have just died from excessive fatigue, it looks like.
Okay, so that was more or less planned.
Yeah.
Okay. Just a curiosity, how are you planning on keeping these thrones? Are you just going to use armies, or like what is your plan for keeping these thrones? Just armies?
At this point, just the army sitting on them, because I'm sitting on all the thrones that I need to win the game.
Grippa, if is there any point where this right here could technically be the end of the game? Like how, because we did a throne rush together. Do you want to explain how a throne rush here, how you can kind of secure the throne rush here?
So the way to secure that throne rush, theoretically, that you can do is if you can cast something like Living Castle or something like that on both of those provinces. If Solaria could cast like Living Castle or 3 red seconds or any of those spells that create an insta fort, you've pretty much just secured the game, assuming you have a prophet or Holy 3 in each province to claim it. So if he was claiming this turn and I attacked and he cast 3 red seconds, for example, my attack would not matter because I would land on the fort and I would be delayed a turn by sieging it, in which case the claiming of the thrones would go through and the game would be over, which is exactly how I won the previous game.
Assassinations and mind hunts and stuff like that wouldn't work either, because claiming of thrones happens super duper early in the turn resolution order. Although the check to see if you've actually won the game happens very late.
I did do research on all that, trying to figure it out.
Yeah, so the
I only knew all of that because that's just how I won the game with Dardamos here.
Yeah, so as I recall, the way it works is you claim the throne almost immediately, but then you have to keep it until the end of the turn resolution. So if you have a fort, even if it's actually broken, because like if you cast 3 red seconds or Wizard's Tower or whatever on a province and somebody attacks you that same turn, it's automatically broken. The wall durability never like fills up. So it's just 0 and they can attack you the next turn. But they can't attack you, they can't attack the fort that turn. So
And of note, if somebody magic phases in on the same turn that you put a fort down, the battle is the one that changes the control of the province. So the fort is put down before the battle, therefore the fort still stands.
correct.
So there is no way to stop it. If he has an H3 here and he has an H3 here, this game is over if he's able to put a fort down. So my question for you, RCK, do you have the ability to magic phase forts?
No. So I was just really hoping that no one would really just wreck my armies at this point. I did consider the whole movement thing of pushing armies away. I wondered if I could push Satis's army away and not have to fight on the throne, but then I worried about anyone magic phasing in and taking the throne away from me. So
Okay,
I just said,
we're gonna end it right here, and this may be our last episode, or it may not be. I'm gonna leave it in suspense, so that we can see if, because Satis, you're gonna be pushing into this place next time, theoretically, and Airmore has an army to contest that one as well. Did Airmore go in here?
he
No,
did.
Airmore never did it.
No, I mean afterwards he did.
Okay, so he's gonna contest as well this turn. So, guys, I want to leave it on that one. I want to thank my co-hosts. General Confusion, thanks for your insight and your expertise.
Oh god, don't call me an expert, but thanks for having me.
Grippa, enjoying watching you on this one. Glad to see that you did the right move this turn. And look forward to seeing your moves next turn.
It's a pleasure.
Mandar, it's as always, it is a wonderful to have you with us. Thanks for joining.
Thank you for having me.
RCK, thanks for being our Scalaria player and showing us what your moves are.
I was happy to join.
HP Munchcraft, Off Bajak, and Velik, thank you very much for listening in. You're more than welcome to listen in. We come in on Saturdays and Sundays, Korea time. I think that's Friday night and Saturday night US time, and I have no clue what that is, Euro time. But you're more than welcome to listen in, and we even pull in some people some of the time. So thanks for joining with us, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.